Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it every morning at 8:30 a.m. and also on Wednesday it's the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook Podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.
Top of the morning to you good people. Happy Monday morning to all of you. I know it's early, y'all. We got a new start time. You guys said you wanted an hour, and we wanted to give you an hour. And so we couldn't put the 30 minutes on the back end, so we decided to put it on the front end. Again, I know it's early, so maybe I'm catching you on your way into work, or you just got to work. Put those headphones on, plug them into your computer or desktop, so you can listen to the show this morning. And I hope you guys had a wonderful, beautiful weekend. It was a little rainy, but it was still a beautiful weekend, man. So I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. So look, Lavelle won't be on today. He's under the weather, so he will not be on today. So it's me. I'm flying solo today. I'm flying solo, and hopefully we can get through this today. I know we're probably not going to get through all of this because our topic engulfs a lot of information. So I know we're not going to get through all of it. Good morning, Mel Mac. Early the bird gets the worm. Mel Mac, guess what I did? I sold my first ticket to the event too, ma'am. Thank you. Jumpstart. But yeah, I sold my first ticket too. So let's jump on into this topic, man, because this is one that I think a lot of us need to kind of work on, especially as because we operate on CPT time, and we ain't never. I was watching this new movie that's on Netflix with Jamie Foxx and what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. The little pretty girl with the eyes that was something about Mary. I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, he was talking to her. He was like, "Hey, it's time to go. We got to go." And she said, "Okay, give me one more minute." He said, "Girl, you know I know time that is. That means 20 more minutes." So we definitely have to work on our time management skills. And it will help, fix a lot of other issues that's going on with us. We're never on time for anything. And if you ain't on time, you late. And if you late, that ain't never good. I'm one of those people. I'm very time conscious. I don't ever like to walk in to a meeting or an event or anything late. Like my wife would tell you, like, we're going to be there early, 15 minutes early. For one, especially if I know the event or situation, even with the movies, if I know it's going to be crowded and I got to stand in lines to get my popcorn, I'm trying to get there a little early. Or, if it's just an event where I know it's going to be crowded and it's a first come, first serve as it relates to seats because they don't have assigned seating or reserved seating, then I'm going to try to get there and sit there. But anyway, so what I have this morning is 18 time management. So let me read the topic first. The topic is, what are some time management hacks and strategies to help increase productivity? What are some time management hacks and strategies to help increase productivity? Me and Max and not me. I try to be on time. I be sitting on the parking about 20. That's cool though, because and that's how I am too at work. I got to get there. I can't if my start time is 8 o'clock. I'm gonna have to get there at 7:30. At least about 7:45, because I got to get 15 minutes to get myself together, set my area up, and I'm ready. I can't just get there at 8 because I'm late if I get there at 8. So yeah, I get it. I'm the person that be holding tables and chairs for my late friends. it gets old and yikes, but I'm the reliable one. That's cool. I guess that would be us too, then, Mayor. I would assume that would be us too, because we gonna do the same thing. But what are some time management hacks and strategies to help increase productivity? And so I have 18 time management tips, strategies, and quick wins to get the best work done. And you can apply this to the work, to just your everyday life, whatever the situation is. You can apply this. It's applicable to whatever you want to do. So you don't really have to worry about um, what it is that's going on with you, because you're gonna be the one that's on time. All right. So today we're constantly interrupted. Um, we're constantly interrupted with things that I guess you can just say life. You know, we it's tools, notifications, email, social media, you name it. It's just a distraction. And chaos has become the norm for a lot of us. Hey, what up? What up, eat up? Chaos has become the norm for a lot of us because we don't have an idea how to manage our time. It's nearly impossible to focus on what truly matters or know if you're prioritizing the right work at the right time. Your intentions for the day fly out the window in the face of high priority tasks, seemingly urgent messages, and never ending notifications. Man, that don't sound like my life right now, how my life is set up. That sounds just like my life right now, because it seems like if it ain't the phone, I'm getting emails. If it ain't the email, it's somebody calling me about something. So it's like it's a constant stream of chaos. And if I didn't know how to prioritize that stuff, I would never get anything done. I'm talking about never get. Appreciate all the hearts fishing with Pop Pop. I would never get anything done, like, at all. So it's nearly impossible to focus on what truly matters or know if you're prioritizing the right work at the right time. Your intentions for the day fly out the window in the face of high priority tasks, seemingly urgent messages, and never ending notifications. To keep up with the pace of work, 80% knowledge workers report working with their inbox or other communication apps open. That's me. As a result, workers are less efficient with messages, actions, deadlines more likely to be missed. Um, so you really got to figure out how to manage your time properly. Because if you don't manage your time properly, you ain't gonna never get nothing done. And I guarantee you don't never want to be that person um, that never got nothing done. Good morning, Andrea. If you don't ever want to be that person that's always late, that you ain't never got your reports in on time. Uh, you the person that's got to bring the main dish to the family event and you late. You don't want to be that person, man. So you got to figure out how to manage your time and manage your time effectively. So what is time management? Time management is the practice of managing your work in order to ensure you're spending your time as intentionally as possible. Time management can increase productivity, but the biggest advantage of effective time management is the ability to better prioritize your day so you can make space for the rest of for your rest and self-care. That's why it's important, because if you take your entire day, just your whole day is chaotic, you're not going to rest well. You're not going to be able to take any kind of self-care because you're currently lagging behind on something else that you didn't do because you didn't prioritize any task, anything that you had to do. I tell my son all the time, yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all this, because man, I swear by it. This calendar, this I swear by this calendar. Everything has to go on my calendar in the time, because if it does not, I'm not gonna stay on task. So I had to put stuff on if I know if I got a meeting, if I got whatever, or if it's something I got to do, I put it on my calendar. And I tell my son all the time, man, because he is one. He can never remember nothing what's going on. He don't know what's going on. His time, oh, I ain't gonna be able to. His time management is just way off. And I tell him, put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar and set notifications where it'll send you a notification, whether it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you know you're a slow person, you got to set your notifications for an hour early. Hell, sometimes I set my notifications for a day early just so I'll be prepared for the next day. So you got to be able to set some strategy, some time, and make sure you get it done. Good morning, Azon. Love that T-shirt. Can't wait to get one. Yeah, they coming, baby. They coming. They coming. They getting worked on right now. So you got to be able to effectively manage your time. And I don't care if that's on the job, in life, whatever. You got to be able to manage your time effectively in order to get the best out of the day. We only got 24 hours in the day, and so in 8 hours, most of the time, 8 to 10 hours, depending on how you work, is already gone towards work. And you got to be able to effectively manage your time at work so you can get your task or whatever done at work as well. And so here are some benefits of time management. Good time management strategies can help you organize and prioritize tasks so you can do this. Feel like you have more time in your day. When you're intentional about where your time is going, you may find that you reduce unnecessary tasks, deprioritize work that doesn't need to get done today, and accomplish things in less time. You won't literally have more time in your day, but you may find that you accomplish more in the same amount of time. And that's important for me, is just feeling accomplished, feeling like I've accomplished something. So if I go through the day and I've done some things, I told my wife the other day we were doing something. I said, man, I feel like I got some stuff done today, and I did. I got a lot of stuff done today, and that's because I kind of had it already laid out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. Establish boundaries between work and personal time. Improving your time management isn't about squeezing out every second of productivity you have at work. Rather, these strategies can help you get the most important work done and identify what work can wait until tomorrow. By prioritizing the work that needs to get done today and clarifying what work you want to defer to a later date, you can also establish boundaries between your work time and your personal time. And that's very essential. You definitely want to be able to establish, to separate the two, my work time from my personal time. And with your personal time, you want to be able to, self-care, be able to take care of yourself, do some things that you need to do for yourself. And so you want to be able to manage that time. Another thing, this is probably the biggest thing right here, is that you want to be able to reduce some stress. Without effective time management, it can feel like you never have enough time at work. You might feel like you're running around and putting out fires, which can lead to increased stress and ultimately burnout. In fact, according to Anatomy of Work Index, 71% of knowledge workers reported feeling burned out at least once in 2020. So you can only imagine what it's like in 2024, because the 2020 was really right around COVID, 2019, 2020, when COVID was in effect. So things have really drastically changed since COVID. And then you want to improve your productivity. There are a variety of time management tips to help reduce procrastination and increase productivity. By identifying your main priorities for the day, you won't just be more productive. You can also feel confident that you're working on the right things each day. And that's essential. Again, you don't want to be spinning your wheels, spending your time, just basically doing nothing or doing something that's meaningless or don't really make sense. And we had this saying when I was in Amway years ago. They called one of the people who came into the business that really didn't sit down and kind of create any kind of strategy or plan. They just kind of went out there and just went at it. They call those people no direction dynamos. No direction dynamo. And you don't ever want to be classified as a no direction dynamo. You don't want to be that person that you just out there just moving and you don't have any direction towards what you're doing. You're just kind of doing it. So you definitely want to make sure and feel confident that your work is going towards the right things each day. And I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between this Just making sure I don't miss no comments, y'all. Excuse me. Break bad habits. This is another thing time management help you to effective time management helps you to break bad habits. No one wants to procrastinate, but over time, bad habits can pile up and get in the way of high impact work. Trust. We've been there. I'm still there in some instances. Time management strategies can help you identify and break out of bad habits. Bad habits are definitely sometimes very, very difficult to break. If you've been doing them a long time, it's hard to really break out of some bad habits, some tough bad habits. And I ain't talking about the sucking your teeth or popping your mouth when you with gum in it or chewing with your mouth. I ain't talking about them kind of bad habits. But you know, bad habits as it relates to time management can be procrastination. And this is something that I really that I got to work on. I don't want to really say had to work on because it's still a factor when it comes to certain things. So for me, like, so on the side, I build bars, I do remodeling jobs and stuff like that. And I go and do all this stuff for other people. And then I have, like right now, I got a bathroom that I've been remodeling now for a year in my own house. That's procrastination. Well, not all of it is procrastination. Some of it is just kind of not thinking about it, out of sight, out of mind, because we don't near go down there towards that bathroom. So when you don't see it all the time, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But that is still a form of procrastination. Like I should have had that bathroom complete by now, you know. So you definitely want to be aware of how you manage your time and manage it effectively. So here are 6 time management strategies to help increase productivity. All right. And then think about it, you know, since we've extended the show to an hour, I may get through these, I may not, but we'll see. But 6 time management strategies to increase productivity. One of the easiest ways to build your time management skills is to incorporate a tried and true management strategy into your daily routine. Time management strategies help you set time limits on work, tackle one task at a time, and schedule your day with more intention. This is one of those bad habits outside of procrastination for me. I'm a multitasker. I like doing a lot of stuff at one time, and sometimes you cannot complete a task when you're multitasking. So I have to be very conscious that if I'm going to multitask, to make sure that those things that I'm multitasking on, that I'm still able to complete all of those tasks, within allotted time. But number one, the number one time management strategy to increase productivity is time boxing. Time boxing is a goal-oriented time management strategy where you complete work within time boxes. The strategy is particularly effective if you aren't sure how much time you're spending on each task and want to approach your to-do list more intentionally. So that means you get this box or get your task and you put all of them in these time slots, and you kind of box them as a goal. My goal is to get this done in 2 hours. My God. So when you finish, you look and say, oh, well, it actually took me 2 hours and 20 minutes to do this as opposed to 2 hours. Oh, it took me 3 hours, So time boxing helps you to break down large tasks into smaller pieces and then complete those pieces in a reasonable amount of time. Each task should have its own unique time box. Yep. The task has no more than 3 hours. For example, if you need to write a blog post, you might create 2-hour time box to write the outline. Then after taking a break, you could create another 3-hour time box to begin the first draft. By breaking the work into smaller pieces, you can make steady progress work towards your goal over the course of days or weeks. So you can try time boxing. Another strategy is time blocking. Time blocking is similar to time boxing, but instead of scheduling specific time for each individual task, you'll practice blocking off set periods of your calendar for related work. When you use time blocking to schedule your work, you're effectively breaking the work into discrete time slots where you can work on projects, communicate with coworkers, take a break, or even exercise. Time blocking can help you dedicate more time to flow and deep work by allowing you to focus without being interrupted. To create a time block, start by figuring out your daily or weekly priority. Then group similar tasks so you can work on them in one time block. Finally, practice scheduling blocks of focus time on your calendar to help you stick thank you to help you stick to your time block schedule. So you got time blocking and time boxing. Time blocking and time boxing. She said, Monica said, at work, I wrote a daily list called things to do for, and then she put like the date. A lot of times I wouldn't complete all the tasks in one day, but it allowed me not to miss doing something and help with prioritizing to get things done. Yeah, because you can actually do that list. You can do that list, and then you can say, okay, out of this list, what are the things I know I got to prioritize and get done first? This means this is a must. So then you take those things and you put those things in prior. I used to do the same thing, and I used to check them off, well, especially within the work day. And then I check off the ones that I need to prioritize the most, and I get those done first. And then I tackle those less complicated tasks, or some of those tasks that I knew I could knock out pretty easily. I would jump on those particular tasks. The next task strategy is Pomodoro method. Similar to time boxing and time blocking, the Pomodoro method helps you to tackle work within short time frames and then take breaks between work sessions. The Pomodoro time management strategy is particularly helpful because it actively encourages regular breaks, which are good for the intrinsic motivation and good for your brain. In fact, research suggests taking breaks make people more creative, and I definitely agree with that. Sometimes even when I'm playing, because I play a lot of games that kind of make me think on my phone. So if it's a game that don't cause me to like think, I don't want it on my phone. So I have several games that cause me to like find words, look up words, different things. That's kind of keep my mind going. And sometimes I get to these particular challenges, and I be like, man, I can't find this. And I literally say, you know what? Let me take a break. I'll walk away from it, come back an hour or two later, and then boom, the word is right there. I mean, like standing out, just hit me right in the face. And I'd be like, how did I not see that the first time? Because you're spending so much time with it that your mind, your mind, you have to take a break to refocus and get so you can come back more creative. And that's how people come up with some of the bravest and or greatest ideas. To use the Pomodoro method, you need a timer, a prioritized to-do list, and a snooze feature on your notifications. Start by setting your timer for 25 minutes and try to spend that time exclusively working on a task. Avoid checking your text messages or social media if possible. Okay, so that's another big issue for me. Because I don't even know what the other one is. Okay, I'm on. So you see what I'm talking about? I have 3 cell phones. I have a personal cell phone, I have one for my business, and I have one for my job. And during the day, those 3 phones are literally laid out in front of me, in front of my computer while I'm at work, and I'm looking and they're going off. Somebody's called me, somebody's texting me. So that can be a problem if you can't manage that process. If you can't manage it, it can be a real problem for you, and you can find yourself not really accomplishing anything on your to-do list or your work list or your home project list or or get any personal time in or any self-care time. So then once time is up, take a 5-minute break. Ideally, aim to do something physical during your break, like grabbing a snack or getting up to stretch. But it's okay to check your devices or see if you got an important ping while you were focused on a task. And so for me, that's very important because that break in between, oh man, it helps you refocus, and get those creative juices to firing. So the next strategy is called eat the frog. Eat the frog. Mark Twain famously said, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. The Eat the Frog time management strategy takes inspiration from this quote and encourages you to tackle big or complex tasks first before working on the less important. You just heard me say that I take the big, more important tasks first and then work on the less important, less urgent tasks later. The strategy is particularly helpful if you split your days between regular daily work and high priority tasks. With the Eat the Frog method, you can ensure you're getting to your most important work every day. To get started with this time management strategy, make sure you're tracking your work and your priorities in a centralized tool. Look for a way to connect your daily tasks to company goals. That way, you can better identify which tasks to prioritize every day and make sure you get those done first. Then, once you've eaten the frog for the day, you can move on to the rest of your work. So you got to eat the frog, man. You got to eat the frog. You got to prioritize those big tasks, those more urgent and more important tasks first. Get those done, knock them out, and then work on the smaller tasks or the ones that's less urgent that you can complete pretty quickly. And so, again, that's something that I've always done in way of prioritizing my time management skills is by just I guess eating the frog. And just making sure I tackle those big tasks first. And that's kind of way I do just in my personal life too. If there are things I need to get done at the house, that's the first thing I do is I be like, let me knock out the big tasks first. If I know I got to build something, and my wife always like, oh, you can just build it, or you can just do that. So if I look at that task and I say, well, let me just knock out the big tasks first. And sometimes, if you're working in a team, it helps because if you say, hey, I'm gonna tackle this big task, and then you can tell somebody else, hey, well, while I'm tackling this huge task, you can knock out these 2-3 small little tasks right here. And that's kind of how me and my wife works in teams sometimes. If I'm outdoors building something, she may be in the house tackling those small chores or tasks that she can do on the inside that doesn't require me to do it. So, tackle the frog. The next one is, and this is number 5, the Pareto principle. If eating the frog first thing in the morning doesn't sound appetizing, you might prefer the Pareto time management strategy. The Pareto principle is the opposite of eating the frog method. This strategy encourages you to get quick tasks out of the way so you can feel more accomplished and motivated as you head into your day. Often called the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle has one fundamental rule. You spend 20% of your time on 80% of your work. If you get the 80% of your tasks out the way in relatively quickly order, you free up your workday to tackle the 20% of your work that will take 80% of your time. I've never been, I don't know, I'm not one that's going to tackle the little bitty task first and then go to, I guess maybe it just depends on what it is. So I'm not going to say that. But I know on the job, if we're talking about the job and time management of the job, I'm never going to tackle the small things first. I'm going to knock out the big things, especially if I got any kind of time constraints on it or getting it done within a certain time period, or got to have this report, to this person by this time. I'm going to tackle those things first and then work on those less important tasks or the smaller tasks. So I'm never gonna do that. Stock market is open. Um, um, let's see what number 6 is. Let me go back, check these. Let's see. Eat the frog. Yeah, man, eat the frog. Monkey said, I guess that's the same as doing the things you really don't want or like to do first, and then the things you enjoy more, like, yeah, or vice versa. And with the 80-20 rule or the Pareto, you could flip that and do it that way. So it's kind of the same. And number 6, getting things done. GTD. Just get it done. Get her done. Just get her done. The GTD method. The getting things done method was invented by David Allen in the early 2000s. According to Allen, the first step to getting things done is to write down everything you need to do by freeing up your brain power, and instead relying on task management tools. You can focus on taking action and not remembering what you need to do. And that's kind of what Monica said earlier. She would write all her stuff down that she need to do, like a things to do list, and then she would start tackling things on her list. To use the GTD method, capture all of your upcoming work in one place. Once you've written down everything you need to do, sort and prioritize your work. For example, you might have work you no longer need to do that goes in the trash. Work you want to do eventually, but not right now, that goes into the later project folder. Work that is dependent on other tasks, and so on. The tool should capture all details. It's your job to take action on them. So those are the 6 time management things to kind of get things. Matter of fact, let me go back and make sure I get that right. 6 time management strategies to increase productivity. Now we have 6 time management tips to get more done. You may or may like using an established time management strategy to organize your work. Not every time management strategy is effective for every person. Now that's probably one of these most important things to remember, that every time management strategy is not going to work for every person. People are just different and they operate different, and you can't expect for everybody to maybe do the Pareto or the eat the frog or the time boxing, or you can't expect for everybody to do one particular thing, because it just may not flow with their aesthetics or what they do. You may not like using an established time management strategy to organize your work. Not every time management strategy is effective for every person. That's why there are so many of them in the first place. Instead, try these 6 tips to build your time management skills. Number 1, connect daily work. Connect daily work to your goals. So whatever your goals are, whether it's on the job, whether it's your personal goals, self-care goals, whatever it is, try to connect that work to your goals. Time management isn't always about getting all of your work done. Rather, it's about identifying and prioritizing your most important work. In order to do that, you need to connect your day-to-day work to team or company goals, so you can identify the most important tasks to daily. But according to a recent survey of over 6,000 global knowledge workers, only 26% of the employees say that they have very clear understanding of how their individual work relates to company goals. Wow. The best way to coordinate work and prioritize and the best way to coordinate work and priorities across all levels of your organization is to work with management tools. With work management, you can connect daily work and team projects to company objectives, so your team members always understand how work impacts the company's priorities. And this works the same for your personal goals, or your goals at home, or whatever. If you want to go back to school, and you hadn't quite figured out what you need to do, you need to do your research. That's part of that time management. Review your research and figure out, if there are tests that need to be taken to be entered. Sometimes you have to write an essay to enter to get accepted. Whatever it is, what the financial ramifications, what I'm gonna have to pay to go to school. So I mean, you have to really sit out and plan all that out, so you won't waste your time doing something, or you go through all these particular steps and feel like and realize that you omitted the most important step of filling out the FAFSA, or whatever. So you had to go all the way back, and so you don't want to do that. So you have to sit down and jot down or prioritize those things that you need to do, and connect those that work to whatever that goal is. The second thing is prioritize and organize your work. Whether you like the eat the frog method or prefer getting things done approach, it's critical to know which tasks are important. Inevitably, you'll have a task that shifts into priority, that shifts in priority or deadline that gets moved up or down. If you don't have clarity on which work is more important, you won't be able to adapt or prioritize the right work. It ain't nothing like doing some work and having a goal or time to get that work done, and then somebody come back and say, "Oh, I said I needed that yesterday, but I need that today by 12, and it's 10:30 now," and you like, "Man, I got this other project I'm working." You got to get her done. You got to go to that GTD. You got to get it done. So prioritizing and organizing your work. So what if you had prioritize and organize your work, and so somebody came back and said, "Hey, that report I needed, and I'm getting ready to meet with the mayor or whatever, and I got to get this done. I got to meet with the CEO, and I got to have this report for him." So you can look down your task and say, "Oh, well, I can move this up to be above this task." But if you didn't write it down and prior to, now you just kind of all over the place, and it just throws your whole day off. Let's see here. Getting things done, get it done is great info. Yeah, you just gotta get it done, man. that's bottom line. You got to get it done. So I'm gonna take a break from this list, man, because it's 8:37. We're over halfway through the show, and I want to clock this tea, man. We're gonna clock this tea with my girl Queen Watkins, then we'll jump back into some more of this. I definitely don't think we're gonna get through this today, even in the hour. But man, I want y'all to hear this clock the tea segment with our girl Queen Watkins. So without further ado, Queen, clock it.
Good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, pull over, put them fingers up. It's time to clock that tea with your girl Queen Watkins. I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. But y'all know what? It's time to get into this tea. And I'm going to say today, I am coming after the Beehive. Oh, mother effing well. Okay. Folks be like, "Oh, we don't want to play with the Beehive." I'm about to clock that too. Okay. So Blue Ivy, she allegedly called 911 from the Carter's home and stated that Beyonce was not her mom. Right. So the security on the at the Carter's house, they basically cut the call off. Right. The police could not reach back out or anything. So allegedly it was Blue Ivy who called. She feels that Kathy White is her mom, not Beyonce. Kathy White is a ex-lover of Jay-Z. She was an actress. She's a really pretty girl. Allegedly, she was pregnant with Jay-Z's baby before she passed away. Now, her death, y'all, they are speculating that it was an aneurysm, right? But it's remaining undisclosed. So some are saying it's an aneurysm. Some saying they really don't know what happened to her. So she passed away right after Beyonce's birth, right? That was kind of The timing of that was
That was
just
weird.
insane to me. It wasn't too long after Blue Ivy was born, then boom, Kathy White passed away. They're stating that Blue Ivy looks like Kathy White. Let me tell y'all something. She looks just like the ugly ass man, Jay-Z. Okay. She's not, I'm not saying this baby ugly. She's gonna grow into her. I hope she grow into her look.
She do look like Jay-Z though.
She looks just like that man. I don't see none of Beyonce. I don't know about the chin, the lips of Kathy White. I don't know. All I see is Jay-Z ass. Hopefully she grows out of that. So boom. Y'all know how the internet goes. So they're speculating that Blue Ivy do not like when Beyonce touch her. They showed something at the halftime show. They showed when she was on the red carpet for Mufasa. Anytime Beyonce just tries to touch her or shows any affection, they say that Blue Ivy ain't going for this shit, right? She's not going. So now they're saying the Carter family is going through a lot right now, dealing with these allegations. Allegedly, there was a DNA test that was taken and that Blue Ivy requested. How's a child going to request a DNA test? I don't know. But from an anonymous person from the Carter family, they say that Blue Ivy requested it, and it shows that Blue Ivy is not the daughter of Beyonce Knowles. Sorry, Beyonce Carter. What y'all think? Because I don't know. Her stomach folded in 2011 when she was on Wendy Williams' show. Any pregnant woman know your stomach is not folding. The further you go into pregnancy, the harder your stomach gets, right? So I don't know about that. She said it was fabric. Baby, ain't no fabric finna bend that much, period, right? And you can edit videos all day long. So, and Jay-Z also paid $1.4 million or $1 billion to have the whole floor of the hospital when she had her baby. Did he do that with the twins? Where the hell they at? I ain't even seen them, let alone the little boy. They say the little boy have something going on. He may have autism or whatever, but that don't mean you kick that baby out the public light. Where they at? Where them kids at?
The Blue Ivy.
All right, y'all. That's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men and Hats Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Ooh. Man, I don't even know. That's deep. So supposedly, I'm sorry, let me use it in the words of Queen. Allegedly, Blue Ivy is not Beyonce's daughter, and she did a. And I can see her asking for a DNA because she's old enough at that age where she can probably request, and she got enough money. So whether she's a child or not, you know, these folk with money, they can make stuff happen. And that's interesting. That's really interesting. If that's true, that's interesting. And again, I mean, when you raise the concern, like why would you pay $1.4 million to have the entire floor, you know, so she can have her baby, supposedly the entire floor. But did in fact, I guess we got to do some research. Did they in fact do that for the twins, the supposed twins? And where the hell are the twins? We always hear about Blue Ivy, but we never hear about the twins. So that's weird. That's really weird. So who freaking knows, man, with these people, man? When you start making that kind of money, man, all kinds of stuff come out the woodwork when you get that kind of money, man. I heard somebody say, man, so I don't even, you know, I don't know if I ever want to be like billionaire-ish rich. Especially if I'm not a low-key person. I don't know if I would want to be billionaire rich if I'm not a low-key person, because you're gonna always be in the spotlight. Somebody gonna always be, you know, there are some billionaires out here that's quiet, humble, you know, you never even hear about them, no, they not in a, you know. Only time you're gonna hear about them is when they're doing the Forbes richest people in the world list. That's the only time you're gonna hear about them. And that's if I'm a billionaire, I want to be that type of billionaire. Philanthropy. I mean, the only time you hear about me is, man, he just gave another 100 million away. You know, he just gave another 50 million away. Like that's how I want to be known. Not because of all the antics and all of the stuff that's going on out here in the social media realm. You know, that's the part that like would drive me absolutely positively nuts. You know. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But it's just part of having that money. When you got money like that, you know the people gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you when you got that money. So anywho, let's get back to these next 6 time management tips to get more done. We just did 1 and 2. 1 was connect daily work to goals. 2 was prioritize and organize your work. 3 is plan ahead at the end of each day. The workday often feels like a scramble because we're already behind by the time we get started. If you're the type of person who goes through emails every morning trying to figure out what to prioritize for the day, you're not alone. Fortunately, there's a better way. Instead of trying to figure out what you should be doing in the morning, spend the last 5 minutes of each day preparing for the next one. This can increase motivation because you know exactly what you're doing every day before you even log on. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I do that when I leave the office. I might have something like I'm gonna do this first thing in the morning. I have it, so I already know like when I get there what I'm doing. This can increase motivation because you know exactly what you're doing every day before you even log on. It's also a valuable way to make sure you're going to get the most important work done every day instead of reacting to an email or a request at 4:30 in the afternoon. You can make sure to incorporate that important work into the next day's schedule. And that's cool. And the next thing, now everybody can't do this one now. So don't get the shooting off. Don't say Tony. Tony said y'all can just do this. But another strategy is to say no or to delegate. To say no or to delegate. Everybody can't do that now. You can't just tell your boss, no, I ain't doing it. Or get somebody else to do it. Or I'm going to tell somebody else to do it. If you don't have the authority or the autonomy to do that, please don't do that. I have seen people on the job tell their supervisor and boss or manager no. They wasn't doing a certain thing. And they ended up in my office and ultimately ended up probably at the door. So that's not what you want to do. One advantage of clarifying your priorities is that you gain an understanding of what's less of a priority as well. It's not always easy to say no to work, right? But it helps when you explain that you're saying no because the work doesn't align with your current priorities. I don't care. If your boss tell you to do it, you better figure out a way. Or at least have a conversation around it. Defining priorities for yourself and sharing those priorities with your team members can give everyone more clarity. If the work has to get done, but still isn't a priority for you, see if you can delegate it to another team member. Keep in mind, delegating doesn't mean the task isn't important. It just means the work isn't in line with your current priorities. It could be that this work is more relevant for someone else's expertise. And that's where you would have that conversation about, say, well, you know, so-and-so is more good, you know, and then I'm working on this other project, maybe see if they can, you know, but have the conversation and have it in a proper manner. And when you reassign it to them, you're ensuring the work is done by the best person for the job. A strategy, and this is a quote, a strategy we have put in place to make sure our team is efficient is to be clear around what you will and won't do as a team. Having clear visibility of your work makes decisions easier around what you will focus on and what you won't focus on. If you can be very clear around that, it helps to drive efficiency and clarity around what our team needs to be focusing on. and that's Jay McBride, a format development support manager back in the day with Woolworth. Number 5, audit your task. Audit your task. Similar to saying no to the work, take some time to look through some tasks you're committed to a while back and are still working on. Is everything say no to work. Take some time to look through the tasks you're committed on working on, still working on. Is there anything that's currently on your plate that no longer aligns with your team's goals? When you find these tasks, ask yourself if this work needs to be done at all. So, I mean, do I even really need to do this work? If it's no longer important to your team, consider putting the work on hold. If the task still needs to be done, ask yourself if you're the best person for the job. And if not, go through the same delegation exercise to figure out who is. I have like had tasks or things on my list, and about time I actually kind of got to that particular task, I realized that it was no longer relevant to whatever I was doing. Like it wasn't even, so I could like really just, 86 it, 513, whatever you want to call it, because it was no longer needed. So why waste time, valuable time on doing that particular task when that task is no longer needed? Ditch handwritten to-dos and use a tool. That's number 6. If you're still tackling the work by hand, it's time to upgrade to an online tool. As satisfying as it can be to take notes manually, written to-do lists are disorganized, prone to mistakes, easy to lose, and ineffective. I don't know. My wife be having them sticky notes all around the computer screen. And I think she just take them off as she complete them. Well, she don't have to do it no more. She retired unless she found another job. Easy to lose and effective. Instead, make sure the majority of your project management is happening in a dedicated tool. Project management tools offer a variety of features that make it easier to get the most out of your time. With the project management tool, you can do these. You can do this with certain project management tools. You can coordinate cross-functional work and track exactly who's doing what by when. Now, if you go get you a project management tool and you use it for your personal life at home, you tripping. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's probably good though if it helps you keep on task. Communicate about work, share feedback, and report on project statuses in one place. Track progress in real time to accurately see where work stands. See due dates and dependencies so that you can hit your goals without scrambling. Plus, if you think there is nothing quite like crossing a task off a written to-do list, wait until you see the herd of celebration creatures fly across your computer screen. When you complete something, all of a sudden this bird just fly across the screen saying that you complete with that particular task. It's cool. I had a spreadsheet. Well, I'm not even saying it was a spreadsheet, but there was a form that I used to track goals, independent work goals, personal goals, and that I would sit down monthly with my employees. And part of that form, because they did this form, it was a digitized form where they can actually go in and put a goal, put a date, and you can track that goal in that form, which was cool. So, and it wasn't as digitized as maybe like a project management software or something like that or tool, but it was pretty cool to be able to see. All right. We are almost to the top out. So I'm gonna save these 6-time management quick wins for tomorrow, and we'll start off with that and knock that out and jump to something else. But man, we have to effect. I'm so late. Good morning, Queen. Good morning again, Queen. That was some tea I haven't heard of. Oh my. Yeah, that tea was off the chain this morning. And I know so you gotta tell us, Queen, whether or not you got to keep us abreast of this Blue Ivy thing, because that right there was pretty interesting. And so if she get the, I know you said she had a DNA test and it was said that it wasn't her, but can we validate that information some kind of way? Is there a way to validate that information and then find out where the twins are? Can we find out where the twins are and what's going on with them? So anywho, hopefully this hour today was satisfying, just to be able to hear some time management hacks and strategies to help increase your productivity, whether it was personal in your personal goals, just trying to keep yourself on track personally so that you can maintain your personal goals, your self-care, and maybe just have some personal time to be able to separate your personal time from your work time as well. And even if you're on a job, that you can prioritize tasks on your job and manage your time effectively on your job, so you can make the best out of your situation while you're on your 8-hour or 9-hour, 10-hour, or 12-hour job. So hopefully some of those things that those strategies that I mentioned today will help you do that, and we'll complete those other 6 things tomorrow. And those other 6 are let me get to it. Time management quick wins. We're gonna do the time management quick wins tomorrow, and I may give a quick recap on the other 12 particular strategies. So, but thank y'all, man. This has been good. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys had got a lot of information. Again, man, y'all keep Lavelle lifted up. He was under the weather today. I guess we kind of, me and Lavelle kind of operate a little different. If I'm under the weather, I try to push through, and everybody's not like that. I'm just different. A lot of times I get on here, I'm not feeling well on the weather, but when I get on here, boy, y'all wake it up. I start feeling a whole lot better. It was very informative praying for Vail. Yeah, y'all set up a prayer for him. Him and his family, they had the flu, and that flu could be, it's that new COVID flu. You know what I'm saying? That new thing that's been taking people down. I'm talking about taking them down through there. I know people have been sick 10, 11 days, 12 days, man, with this stuff. So, and sometimes, man, your body just won't let you get up, And I don't know, man. I be taking so much stuff, man. I'm popping oil of oregano pills and sea moss gummies, and so the most that's been happening to me lately. And you guys got to take care of yourself, man. Take you some, we ain't spring chicken no more, and all this stuff that's going around now. But I take the sea moss and ashwagandha, the oil of oregano. The tea was hot. This is very informative. Appreciate that, Patrice. Yeah, I know for all you people that work in corporate America or have these corporate office jobs, this should have been very, helpful for you guys. And people who just not good with time management, period. If you ain't good with time management and you always late, this should have helped you too. Flu got around bad. I got the shot. 7 people in my office had it. Thank God. Let's see here. Thank God for Grace taking my supplements too. Yeah, you gotta take them supplements, man. You definitely gotta take those supplements. All right, y'all. Well, this has been beautiful. I appreciate y'all tuning in to 2 Men in Hats today with one man in a hat. Y'all keep Lavelle lifted up, man. But we're gonna get ready to get out here. We'll see y'all first thing in the morning. Appreciate y'all, man. Look, y'all know the new time is 8 a.m. So y'all can't be late. Y'all got to get on up in here at 8 a.m. Y'all asked for this hour. We giving y'all this whole hour. So we doing 8 to 9 instead of 8:30 to 9:30. So we doing 8 to 9. And so we got to get out of here, y'all. So we'll see y'all first thing in the morning, man. Same bad time, same bad place. You know, 2 men in hats. Let's talk about it. Let's pray. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for another opportunity to be able to just say thank you. We pray now for all of those who do demand to pray for those who are sick and shut in, those that are in convalescent homes behind prison walls, Lord, those who don't know you in the pardon of their own sin. We pray now for all of our viewers and listeners that you would continue to grant them their heart's desire. Pray for Lavelle and his family, oh God, that you would heal their bodies, that you would remove anything that's ailing them and anything that's not like you, oh God. Even me, oh God, look at me and my family, continue to bless in a special way like only you can do. Grant us favor, unmerited favor like only you can do, God. We thank you. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray and ask these things. Thank God. Amen. Again, we'll see y'all in the morning. Same bad time, same bad place. 2 men in hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it every morning at 8:30 a.m. and also on Wednesday it's the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.